During Steam sales, I like to go for the absolute cheapest things. Sometimes you can find very strange games, which is today's topic. Depths of Fear is a first-person stealth game set in ancient Greece. You're lost in a labyrinth filled with monsters, and you'll have to make the call of when to run and when to fight. The game begins as you are brought as a sacrifice to give to the labyrinth of the Minotaur. Wait, don't do it! Oh! Huh? How do I get out of here? Well, after you start the game again, you appear inside a massive chamber. You find a note left to you by the daughter of Minos. She tells you that the only way to kill the Minotaur is with a magic sword. The weapon can be acquired by earning 8 medallions. Each area is protected by a different monster. Griffin, centaur, manticore, lots of the classic mythical beasts. In the main chamber, you'll be able to run around and see what you can do. You start with a torch, and you can use this to light other torches or even burn stuff. The torch's visibility is a bit low, but I was able to work with it. Your sprint is pretty good, but it does run on stamina. Run for too long without resting, and you'll get this weird drunk effect. Dude, you hardly ran that far. Take it from me, you can run farther than that. Thankfully, the stamina system isn't too unforgiving, as resting for just a moment should give you enough strength to run again. In the starting area, you can choose whichever door you want. The game will try to guide you by shining a ray of light on the suggested path. You can even try to go to the area where the Minotaur is at. Look, it's got lava. I think I should jump down there. Oh. Oh dear. This isn't good. The game always gives you the option to return to the main chamber in the event something unfortunate happens. There was another time I got stuck, so it's nice this is an option. Well, I've stalled long enough. Let's check out the labyrinth. They suggest the satyr first, so I guess we should start with that one. Wait a second. I don't have any weapons. A lot of this game is based around sneaking and avoiding the area boss. The satyr is a good intro, as it's easy to see him approach. You'll have to turn off your torch and wait for him to pass. Then you can continue exploring the area. While going through the labyrinth, you can find useful items. Gold is very helpful as you can buy permanent weapons with it. The books you find will give you knowledge points. These will allow you to pray at statues and get temporary buffs like quicker movement, or give you a one-use ability like a heal or fire breath. You can also find some weapons that you will be able to use, but they will disappear after you die or finish that area. When sneaking, you'll have to crouch and turn off your torch. With a lot of bosses, you'll be able to see them in the dark. Some carry torches, while others have glowing eyes. To beat a level, you'll have to find a key to the exit. In the first level, it'll just be lying around. In the next 2 levels, you'll have to climb down a ladder into a trap room. Well, sometimes it's a trap room. I found a room where there were spiked walls and a long corridor, but they never did anything. On the 4th level, you'll be given a weapon. Now you'll have to fight the satyr. A true showdown begins and... wait, what? What's with all these minor enemies? That's a little less climactic when you have to fight skeletons, zombies, ghosts, and... What the heck are those? Dinosaurs? Seriously, if anyone knows what those are, tell me. After a while, I managed to go through a few runs and I collected enough gold to buy a weapon. When you get a weapon, things immediately get easier. Now you'll be able to defend yourself and kill the minor enemies you might find. This makes the satyr's skeleton boss a breeze. If you kill a boss in the first 3 levels, they'll just respawn. You'll need to kill the boss in the arena level to put them down for good. Now that I got my spike club, I can wreak some real havoc. It's also a good thing that the Greeks' method of storing items is the same as Hyrule's. Yep, there'll be a lot of destroyed pottery before this is all over. Weapons have a surprisingly strong knockback, making some bosses pretty easy. It's also great to be powerful enough that I can chase the satyr down. I finally took the satyr down, and now I can follow the light to the next target, or to tackle any challenge I want. In terms of presentation, Depths of Fear isn't too bad. The graphics aren't exactly great, but I feel they get the job done. The music also isn't that great either, but I'm a sucker for synth, so I didn't mind it too much. However, there are a few strange bugs I ran into. One is that every time you open the game, it doesn't save your previous settings. For some reason, the volume was also super low. There were also a few times that the monsters got stuck in the environment. You doing okay there, buddy? Oh, I guess so. Despite these problems, I never found them to detract too much from the experience. As you progress, there'll be a lot of bosses that are kinda pushovers. Even though you can kill them, it's best to try and avoid them until you reach the arena. I didn't mind the sneaking in this game. It feels great to enter a monster's domain and then steal all of his tableware. You can also collect resources like bolts for a crossbow or find a potion. However, most of the potions don't tell you what they do until you use them. Sometimes you get a night vision potion, other times you get a potion of blindness, because of course that's a thing. The labyrinth doesn't stay the same. If you die or leave, the rooms and hazards will be rearranged or replaced. There are plenty of traps you can encounter. Spike traps, spike pits, and there are these weird anthills. If you approach these, you'll have to deal with a ton of annoying bug enemies. Definitely my least favorite trap. So I'm actually feeling pretty confident now. Satyr and Manticore weren't too tough. Hey, what's that noise? Uh-oh. When things are looking fine and dandy, the Minotaur himself can arrive. You can damage the other bosses, but without the sword, that Minotaur isn't going down. He also casts this bright red spotlight when looking for you. Ominous. Now I want to talk about my favorite bosses and why I think they work so well. A really cool one is Medusa. Here, the level doesn't have any minor enemies in it. Just you, her, and plenty of eerie stone statues. And sometimes the Minotaur joins in. She's a harder foe to defend against, as you can't look at her. This makes hiding your most valuable asset. Unfortunately, when you finally fight her, you have to deal with the same parade of minor enemies. I wish the final confrontations in this game were a bit more climactic. As I went on, this game actually started to grow on me. I think it partially has to do with my love of old movies about Greek myths. Films like Jason and the Argonauts, Clash of the Titans, the old one, not the new one. There was just something about those strange, clay-animated monsters that intrigued me as a kid. I saw plenty of CGI growing up, and sure, I was pretty convinced that it looked real, but the stop-motion creatures just looked so otherworldly, something I couldn't comprehend, especially that Hydra, and that makes an intimidating monster to me. In a way, the models and graphics of Depths of Fear kinda reminds me a bit of that. So what's the last boss before the Minotaur? Yup, the Hydra. He's probably the toughest enemy you'll fight in the game. He doesn't go down easy, he can kill you quickly, and he's a much faster swimmer than you are. This is also another dungeon where it's just you and the monster, adding to the tension. I'm at the second level, but I can't find where the key is. Oh. The next two levels have you seeking out your pursuer to continue. When you get to the Hydra, you have your final battle with it. Again, I wish this was mano a mano. The only boss you do fight one-on-one is the Centaur. And he kinda sucks, but it's still awesome to live out my childhood fantasy of fighting a Hydra. 7 medallions, 1 left. To retrieve the final medallion needed to unlock the sword, you'll have to enter the Minotaur's labyrinth. But by this point, I've killed a Hydra. I'm not afraid of anything. But I will hide just in case. I've got past the Minotaur and taken the final piece. No more clubs or tridents. Let's do this! Come on, face me, son of Minos! It always comes back to lava in this game. Second try, go! Unfortunately, the last boss isn't very tough. You fight him in a cool arena though. Lava surrounds you and the arena slowly breaks apart. Minotaur falls and the end text tells of your victory. Depths of Fear didn't take me very long, only about 4 hours. The game is definitely flawed, and a bit amateur at times. It has its fair share of problems, but despite this, I really enjoyed my brief time with it. It had a bit of a learning curve, but I loved the idea, and most of the execution. Maybe it's just the theme, but I liked it. The game also has an endless dungeon mode where you try to survive as many floors as possible. Depths of Fear costs $6, but during sales you can pick it up for about 60 cents. For that much, I'd say that's not too high a price to try and challenge the Minotaur's labyrinth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and recommend a weird game in the comments. What do you consider to be an odd game?